We call it people technology.
Wow, were you expecting that? It looked like for a large part of that innings, there was only one team in it. But as both teams head into the dugout at halftime on Maruti Suzuki presents ESPN Cricket for T20 timeout, I'm going to marvel over Rituraj Gaikwad special that's taken the Chennai Super Kings 256 for 6 after they won the toss and were in all sorts of trouble early on. Dale Steyn, Sanjay Manjrekar. Let's go to Sanjay first up. You would have enjoyed what was a classical T20 innings from a very classical sort of batter. That was a Rituraj Gaikwad special, Sanjay.
Yes, and I'm very keen to ask Cricinfo on your new app whether there's been an innings of this kind where generally the team has gone at under 8 runs and over. So you see all the batters going at a strike rate of 80, 90, 100. And then you've got somebody who's got 88 or 58 balls, whether there has been that kind of discrepancy or, that kind of a chunk of the scoring done at such a strike rate in what is eventually a small score or, less than average score. So that would be something to look at. Quickly on Ruturaj Gaikwad, saw him in Sri Lanka. And you're right, his vintage is classical, and I thought he was excellent against spin, but thought, against pace he needed to do some work. But today, boy, that game against pace as well was top notch. And to hit Bumrah for runs is something that very few people have done, and Ruturaj Gaikwad did that today.
Can you make sense of that innings, Dale? At one stage, it looked like, my God, what a day for fast bowling. And everyone else on that scorecard looked like they couldn't get a run or a boundary at ease. And here comes Ruturaj Gaikwad, like Sanjay says, who's just been in a different league of his own.
Yeah, I've got to take my hat off to the way that he batted, because in the beginning he was also seeing wickets just fall around him. Raidu getting hit on the arm, and somehow he managed to maintain his composure and just bat through the innings. And then when Jadeja got there, he just kind of said, listen, let's buckle down here. As soon as the spinners came on, they did the right thing. They went at them. They just went at them. And it just showed a little bit of the lapse of concentration there, and the captaincy of Pollard to probably just bring on that spin at that point in time. He could have gone for the kill and maybe looked to try and get them out, because that's what the seamers were doing. And we spoke about who's going to hit the ground running easier. For seamers, all you really want to do is run in and you want to hit a hard length, because you've got a lot more space. Death bowling is a lot more difficult because now you have to be pinpoint. You have to be on the money. And you can see the last couple overs, the seamers in the beginning were really good. They ran and they were able to just hit a length that was doing something. And in the back end, they just missed their length by a foot or two. It's a full toss. And the way that Gaikwad was hitting the ball at the end, he's always going to put them away. So he batted beautifully, and it just seemed like such a funny game. It was going for Mumbai, and then all of a sudden, that little mistake just led them to probably allow CSK back in the game, and they were able to score the runs that they did at the end.
Sanjay, something to add?
Yeah, drop catch. Catch is so important. Ruturaj Gaikwad, had that catch been taken, this team would have struggled to reach 110. But quickly, on the seam bowlers, Pollard had to bowl Mill and bowled the 3 overs to begin with. But he had Bumrah for comfort for later. I thought Bolt maybe, erred in the fact that we've seen him do that a few times in the IPL where he goes for big runs, and he didn't trust the pitch, which had a lot for the faster bowlers, even in the death. Bumrah was the only guy who I thought was bowling, as per the pitch and the batter on strike. You could see that he was going short to Jadeja and Bravo as well. After he had hit Trent Bolt, almost out of the attack. I don't know how many runs he got in that over, Bravo. But Bumrah came in next over and he was short, to Bravo. So Bumrah was the smartest of the lot. Trent Bolt is a long-term concern for Mumbai Indians because he has this tendency or a vulnerability where he goes for these kind of big overs. It's not the first time we've seen that.
Yeah, if I could maybe ask Dale to perhaps weigh in on that as well. Such a fine white ball, something seems to be missing in the story of Trent Bolt as a T20 all-round seamer, and it tends to be the way he closes out a spell. What's missing, Dale, could possibly help Trent Bolt become a more all-round sort of T20 bowler? He doesn't quite seem to get it right when he bowls that one over towards the last 2 or 3 overs.
Yeah, I think he's just been given this kind of role maybe over the last couple of years. Even in one-day cricket, when you see him playing for New Zealand, he bowls almost 7 overs up front with the new ball, because he can swing the ball. He does swing it. He actually swings it a lot, and he's got great control. So he can run in. He can be very smart with his lengths and his lines with the swinging ball, and then just not really focusing that much on at the closeout overs, because that's not his main job. If you're bowling 7 overs up front with a brand new ball, I'm going to be doing that every single day, and I might bowl a couple Yorkers. So you can see when he gets it wrong on a night like tonight, bowling to good batters, that you're going to go for that over of 20 odd runs. That said, I've also seen him bowl incredible Yorkers, from as a left-arm bowler. He can get the ball to just tail in a little bit, but having not played cricket for a little bit now, he could probably run in and just bowled it shorter to Bravo. Like Sanjay was saying, play the game a little bit more, know who you're bowling to, rather than just think, okay, it's the 19th over, I'm going to close it out with Yorkers. Because if you miss 2 batters that are in, you're going to travel a long distance.
You didn't need a batter that was in today. Dwayne Bravo at the receiving end or rather Trent Bolt at the receiving end of Dwayne Bravo. That's a key little cameo. If CSK had to even get close or win this game, Sanjay, a 23 of 8 can sometimes make the difference.
Unexpected, because we thought, what is the value of Bravo in this side if he's not going to be bowling? We don't know whether he'll bowl eventually, but yes, these are the kind of cameos that make a difference, and we've seen that multiple times in IPL, in T20 cricket. But it was more, again, you saw the difference when Bolt bowled to Bravo, and 1 over later, Bumrah came in and bowled to the same batter, and he looked like fish out of water. So Bravo did well. He's got this unique style of, where the weight goes back, but the ball is out of the ground. But it was more the bowler offering him those opportunities than the class of Bravo. I thought the hitting of Ruturaj Gaikwad was really exceptional because he was taking on the quality bowlers as well.
I'd love to now, before we, of course, wrap up this halftime chat, talk about the first 5 or 6 overs. Different story back then. Dale Steyn would have minded a bowl in those first 5 or 6 overs with batters backing away, not wanting any piece of it, and the ball flying through to Quinton de Kock. Much different from Chennai, where Mumbai started their campaign. Can you sum up those first few overs from Milne and Bolt, Dale?
Yeah, just perfect bowling, just perfect, almost test match bowling if I was listening to the commentators. But that's what I saw. They ran in, they hit a length really hard. They got batters out. A little bit lucky, I put the mockers on Faf there. I felt so bad for it because how often do you get caught at short third man, like bang, and I'm like, watch this guy, he's going to score runs, and that's what happens. But yeah, a couple lucky dismissals too. A semi-good bouncer to Dhoni, who gets a lot of it, and he gets caught at deep square. Little things like that went the way of bowlers when they bowl well. You need that kind of luck. And Milne and Bolt definitely started really well. Bolt especially to Raina. He ran in, they set that field, an aggressive leg side field, and you can see immediately Raina he didn't want anything of it. It looked like schoolboy cricket at a point there. I was like, I couldn't believe this is an international player doing what he was doing, and almost embarrassingly, his bat broke and got out. Had that gone for 6, maybe I wouldn't have said what I've just said right now. But it is what we saw. A great bit of bowling, some good pace. Some good use of a swing ball, even Raina there fetching outside off stump with no feet. So it was good bowling. And then at the end, just difficult to bowl to guys that are in. So if you apply yourself in this wicket the same way that Gaikwad did, Mumbai should be able to chase these runs. But there was a fantastic start with Mumbai with the ball, just a great start.
Yeah, that's
quickly, Ronak, just one quick point on, I've been craving to see mean, aggressive bowling, mean in the sense that you go after every batter and, sort of chase their weakness down. And I thought Mumbai Indians were brilliant in the first 10 overs in the way they were sort of very aggressive, sending really intimidating stuff out to Ambati Raidu, Raina, Dhoni. They were generally short, and I like to see that because that's when you feel like you're watching cricket at the highest level.
Yeah, that being said, though, what we saw from Suresh Raina wasn't quite from the highest level. He's been an IPL genius in his years, Sanjay, but he wouldn't want to look at that innings, that 6-ball innings.
Yeah, but that is what CSK tend to do. They tend to stay with their players who have delivered for a while. They learned a hard lesson after the outcome of the last IPL, so they made a few changes. But Suresh Raina and these guys, you can clearly see that the rusty Ambati Raidu falling down to a short ball also wasn't pleasant to watch. So these are guys who are not in their prime. and also match rusty. So yeah.
Still backing Mumbai then, Dale, to get these runs?
Yeah, I'd say CSA came into the dugout or into the change room with a little bit of momentum at the finish over there. But Mumbai will just dust that off. And I think they will go out there with the intent of winning this game. And then it's a reasonable score, but not one that should bother them. So I'm backing Mumbai to chase this down.
This is a Mumbai without Rohit Sharma, without Hardik Pandya, Sanjay. You still think they'll get these?
Yeah, again, going back to the toss and the 80%, result, winning the toss, batting first. And again, you saw it just doesn't make any cricketing sense for CSK to bat first against a bowling attack like this on a pitch like this. And they nearly lost the game. Now they've got some chances here. So we'll see why the data is so much in favor of teams batting first. If Mumbai Indians fail to get there, that's another one in a team winning after batting first. But you would expect Mumbai Indians to get there.
And since we've got a couple of minutes more, do CSK have the kind of bowlers that can have the sort of impact that Mumbai's bowlers had? Would a Josh Hazlewood or a Deepak Char or Shardul Thakur have that sort of impact for you, Dale?
I think Josh he's played so much test match cricket, and if he is watching closely to the way that Bolt and Milne started, he'll just do exactly what he does best. He'll run in and try and hit a hard length and nick guys off. What's going to be difficult for him is that he's going to bowl to Quinny de Kock, who's not going to look to block anything. He's going to look to step inside the line and flick him over fine leg, back away and cut him. And that makes it a little bit difficult because then he's going to have to change his game plan. But CSK with Takar, who's also been playing beautifully in the test matches, he's full of confidence. You never know. If they get a couple wickets up front, the same way Mumbai did, it can change the outcome. But I think it's a good wicket. I think if you apply yourself for long enough, the same way Gaikwad did, you'll find that there are runs in this pitch. And I think they will come for Mumbai.
Sanjay, just Mumbai put themselves in a position where they had to get overs out of Kyron Pollard. CSK also, if you look at it, quite interesting. If Bravo doesn't bowl, you need overs out of Moeen Ali and Ravindra Jadeja, all of them.
And this is a very unique scenario where Dhoni has to now play around with fast bowlers, like he does with spinners. So this is slightly out of his comfort territory. So yeah, all things indicate that, Mumbai Indians have a great shot at winning this one. But missing Rohit, Hardik Pandya, I'm very keen on seeing how Anmolpreet goes about, because we've been advocating all these, first-class players with a good first-class record. And this is a perfect chase. You're not chasing 200 runs there. So this is somebody who's got a striker of 102, I think, at T20 level. Somebody like Anmolpreet, if you can, add some value, be nice.
All right, let's pick up the chat at the end of the game. Thank you, Sanjay Manjrekar, Dale Steyn. We will talk more on Maruti Suzuki Presents ESPN Cricket for T20 timeout after we've finished the first game of this restart of IPL 2021. Join us there.
We call it people technology.